Hello learners, today we will understand the views of Plato on poetry. The requirement to understand Plato's view before going to our main topic Aristotle's Poetics, the real reason for it is to know what compelled Aristotle to compose poetics or to give his understanding of the origin, nature and function of poetry. We will start with first Plato's theory of ideas. Actually, Plato's views on art, in fact literature, it is all based on his theory of idea. We get to understand his theory of idea through his book Republic. In that he talks about this knowledge, theory of knowledge, this theory of idea. We can call him an idealist because for him that is the ultimate reality. He says that behind every object in this world, whether it is living or non-living, abstract or concrete, there is certainly an idea which is in its ideal form, that is the ultimate idea of it. When we talk about creation of literature, the creation of art, it is always based on mimesis. Mimesis is the Greek term for imitation. So art as mimesis, when we say, he sees art, literature, painting, creativity as an act of imitation. For him, the world is the manifestation of an absolute idea. Whatever you see around yourself is actually an imitation. Imitation of the idea that God had held in his mind, and while manifesting it into this world, there is definitely the representation of the idea. That is not the direct presentation of the idea. That is actually an imitation. For Plato, everything that is present around us in animate or inanimate form is all imitation. So he believes that art, when an artist copies something from nature, he is actually imitating things around him. So in a way, the truth has been removed twice. Aristotle thinks that the truth, the reality is removed twice, because first when God was presenting this in the world, everything, it was an imitation of an absolute idea. And when the artist does the same, it is actually imitating another imitation. So he believes that the truth is twice removed now. He gives an example of a carpenter making a chair, and he says that an artist is making a painting of that chair now. So he says that ultimate product, that the painting of the chair, is actually twice removed from the ultimate idea, the ultimate truth, the ultimate reality. Because once it was thought by God, or it was thought by the we are talking about the chair. So it was thought by the carpenter. The carpenter had a thought of this, the idea of a chair. While making that chair, he may not have been able to completely manifest the idea in its soul thought, the 100%. So, and when the painter is making that chair on his canvas, he is painting it, he is once again moving here and there from that truth. So the truth For him, in Plato's understanding, the truth has now been twice removed. That's why he finds art as an act of imitation. And in fact, it is an act of imitation of an imitation. So this makes art not suitable for his ideal state. Actually, in Republic, the whole treatise is about the ideal state, the ideal citizen. He sees the country, he sees his place as an ideal state where all the forces or all the action are focusing on ultimate reality, ultimate truth. There should be no melanin into it. There should be no distortion into it. So he doesn't give space to art in his ideal state, because he thinks that art is not ultimate reality. It is twice removed from it. So in the ideal state, and everything is focused towards the creation of an ideal citizen, because when you have ideal citizen, then only you can have an ideal state. So what he says, the poetry, the art at that time, other than painting, if you talk about art, we are talking here mainly about poetry. He sees that the poetry's function, what it does, it is a delusional. It is an illusion for him, because it is twice removed from reality. So it is unable to impart good characteristic, or unable to contribute in the creation of an ideal state. He says that poetry, what it does, it evokes baser emotions in human beings. What are baser emotions? Like emotions which are full of passion, anger, sympathy. These emotions are heightened. What poetry does, it actually evokes some kind of emotion. And according to Plato, these emotions are not helpful in making an ideal state, because it brings the ideal citizen to a lower level, right? Because he starts having envy, or he has the feeling of so much cowardice, or sometimes too much energy when not required. So all these, there is a disbalance created due to these baser emotions. So the other thing that he is denying this art, or he's not accepting art as a good thing in his ideal state, is this. And another important reason is that in those times when you see, they do not see show, in fact in modern literature also you would see the same thing, that people who are doing bad may not be judged at the end, or people who were good do not get good ultimately in their life. So what he believes, that such kind of representation of life, there where evil doers or the bad people are not given enough punishment, or the good ones are not awarded with for their act, for their loyalty. So that will make people distracted, or from their duties, because people would believe that even if they are doing good, they are not going to be awarded for that. The bad people are not punished for that. So there is no sense of poetic justice. So for that also he denied art into his ideal state. So he thinks that poetry is not a safe guide. It is not a proper guide for the ideal citizen, and hence it is it should not be the part of the ideal state. He believes that poet, in his theory he has said that poet is a person who has found some kind of inspiration. He does not work in his own senses. He is somewhat uplifted. He somewhere compares this poet to the category of a mad person, because he is uplifted, he is in a state of trance when he is creating something, some artistic thing. So this creativity cannot be done in a normal state. You are always uplifted for that. So the poet is not the right guide, the art is not the right guide for the ideal citizen. That is why he banished poet, and hence poetry from his from his ideal state. And that's where we understand that what were the theory of Plato on art, on poets, and why he banished poets from his state. All these allegation and point evoked a kind of a revolt, a rebellion in Aristotle, and he wanted to give a proper justification for his for this thought, for poetics, for poetry, for poets, and a proper treatise on the development of poetry came in the form of poetics. So we are going to continue with the topic poetics in our next lecture. Thank you and have a great day for time being.